Hello, guys. Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. And you've probably all have heard about this. That's probably why you're all here. Lukaku is not happy at Chelsea Football Club. Specifically, not happy with Thomas Tuchel's performances and system. It's not what we want to see as Chelsea fans. And I'm personally offended, but some people are not. So I would like to have a panel, guys. This is an open stream. If you want to get involved, hit this link. Join the stream, and we're gonna do a big debate. It's gonna be a few hours. You can hop on, hop off when you want. So, guys, Seb, how you doing, bro? Seb, can you hear me? Guys, click. Oh, Karan's here.
Yeah, I'm all right, bro. I mean, it's yeah. Okay, I'm true. Yeah.
Karan, you okay?
So I mean, this Lukaku thing is really disappointing. Considering
Karan, what's your take on this?
Let him complete. Yeah. Is it just me now?
Yeah. Turn your camera on. We miss you. There we go.
Honestly, I mean, see, the club continued. The club won when he left the first time. The club will continue winning even after he leaves the second time. So, as disappointing as it is that it is coming at such a crucial juncture in the season, when Chelsea has so many injuries, Chelsea is having so many problems with regards to COVID and everything. The form is a little up and down. I don't think this was the right time for him to come out with it. If he had a problem with the system or anything, he could have maybe at least waited until the end of the season to voice his frustrations. In a squad of 20-30 players, no two players will obviously be enjoying a particular system. But he should remember that Chelsea's success in Europe came because of the same system. Now, I know injuries have plagued. We rely a lot on our fullbacks to attack and score as well. And the injuries and stuff, it's not gone too well. But I think he could have waited. I think it displays a little bit of lack of professionalism on his end for not waiting this long, or for coming out so early and not. I feel in some ways he's throwing his manager under the bus. And I think, these same set of players, I mean, not him, but all the other players, they sacked Lampard. And could we see a new manager by Feb 22? I won't be surprised.
This could be the start of losing the dressing room easily. I love Tuchel, but
I do as well.
Such a big, because this is probably inspired so many Chelsea players in the back room now. So this is actually really worrying.
Yeah, and that too before the Liverpool game. Oh boy, yeah, good luck. That's a 3-0 defeat happening right there, I feel, because all the chips are down now. I don't know what will Tuchel.
It's really scary times, and we all saw what happened at PSG with Tuchel. Every PSG fan I know, they all love Tuchel, but they said the club just didn't like him, and we know what Chelsea are like. It's just very easily to repeat, unfortunately. Guys, your mic's not working. Yeah, Karen, we can't hear you. No sound. Look, no sound. Sorry about that, boy. I don't know why there's no sound for some people. Seb, talk to me. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, fam. I'm doing good.
Good.
So yeah, this Lukaku news came as a shock to me, because I expected that everybody in the team is on the same page, and Lukaku is supposed to be a senior player, so he's the player I least expect to hear such comments from. But then I am hoping that there's some sort of misunderstanding, and already
Mhm.
there's news going around that the interview was done several weeks back.
Mhm.
So yeah, that doesn't exactly excuse such comments, but at least it makes it look better because it would be really bad if Lukaku decided to have that kind of interview just when we are having our worst run of form this season, and we have like four of the toughest possible games coming up within the next 5 games. So
Mm.
like that would have just been insane, right? But then I'm really disappointed because I feel like he should know better. He knows how the media works. He should know how the media works
Mm.
by now.
So,
Everything you say is going to get spun,
well, because of this, don't
right?
you think it's a dig? Like, do you think he's purposely spoken out loud as a little dig to
Now,
Tuchel?
so I think he's naive. I think he's just really naive. I
Mm.
think he is, for a professional footballer, for a 28-year-old man, he's quite naive in some of his actions, and he reminds me of when he was in Manchester United, and then some fans were slagging him off
Mm.
for being slow, and then he went to their training session, took a picture of their speed records, and then posted it on Twitter. You know,
Mm.
yeah, like he seems to me like just a naive individual. I don't think he means any harm, but I think
Mhm.
that he should
Because he seemed happy at
definitely.
Chelsea, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly,
He said he
exactly,
kisses the
that's what,
badge and everything.
exactly, which is why it makes no sense that he's trying to say throw shades at the club. What I
Mm.
genuinely think is he just didn't know better, which is quite disappointing because I mean he's no longer a kid, he's no longer a rookie.
Mm.
He's been playing on top level for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So like you should know better. Like I'm really disappointed to say the least. Like really, really disappointed.
Karan, is there anything you would like to add to that? Because I completely agree with Seb there. Bro, your mic's not working. Oh, you want to come back? So, Seb, the whole media has published. I'm going to put the quotes up on screen in a minute. The whole media has announced what Lukaku said. The whole Chelsea fan base is reacting. Example A. What does Lukaku need to do, or what does Chelsea need to do to get back to this? Because personally, I think a
Yeah.
club statement needs to come out, or him at least get Lukaku to talk on socials to apologise or just to clear up his name, because this is a big, big statement. He's probably going to get booed at the next Chelsea game.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, if we're to go by how the club has been run for the past
Mm-hmm.
few years and how the players seem to support each other, I expect everyone to come out and say, "Oh, the media is just playing on Lukaku's innocence. He didn't mean this. He didn't mean that.
Mm.
We are all on the same page. We have Lukaku's back. Lukaku loves the club and all that kind of stuff." That's what I expect, right? Lukaku himself cannot even deny the statements because he has deactivated his Twitter account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're left in a situation where it is either the club backs the player or the club throws the player under the bus. And this is the worst possible time to throw any player under the bus because our squad is literally in tatters at the moment,
Mm.
right? So we don't even have the leverage to say discipline him or sit him down for a couple of games, which would be my personal preference. Let him
Mm-hmm.
sit out 2, 3 games and then get his head back, you know. But then I expect Tuchel to come out and say, "Oh, he doesn't pay attention to the media. He knows that Lukaku loves the club. They've had personal conversations, etc., etc." His words were taken out of context, all that kind of stuff. So personally, I don't think anything is going to happen at all. I feel like if at all it comes up in say any of the pressers, either post match or pre match, it's just going to get downplayed. But then I do expect the club to have some sort of discussion with the players to
Mm-hmm.
let them know that they need to be more careful with the kind of interviews they grant and the kind of
Mm-hmm.
things that they say. Because you raise a solid point about Lukaku getting booed, and trust me, I don't want to be Lukaku against Liverpool. especially if we lose or if he doesn't have a good game. He's going to get shredded, like he's going to get totally destroyed, right? So, like, I mean, I feel for him because I feel like he did not have negative intentions, but at the same time, I also feel like he needs to learn a lesson. But then at the same time, I'm also scared that in the process of teaching him a lesson, we are going to harm the club because we need Lukaku to be firing on all cylinders because we need to win games. So it's like a slippery slope. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Karen, I'll let you speak.
Do you have me now, by the way? Can you hear me
Yeah, there
now?
we go.
All
I
right,
can hear you.
better.
Perfect.
There was one point I think someone mentioned about him being naive. I don't think he's naive anymore. I'm not saying he has the intention of like turning the manager or the dressing room against the manager, but I mean he has won a league in Italy. He has played for so long in England. He's a father himself now. I would expect much more out of him as a professional who has been in the professional footballing circuit for so many years to be able to make wise comments and know what he's saying and what implications it could have, especially with the British media and how they like to just inflate things and make them seem bigger than what they actually may be. And especially against Chelsea, I've always thought that British media hates Chelsea for a lot of reasons. I don't know, maybe because Chelsea was one of the first clubs to be owned by a billionaire, and it sort of started the cycle for a lot of other billionaires to come. So they always hate the first person to do that. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts on that. But I agree with him saying that yes, if Chelsea lose against Liverpool at the Bridge, and by the way, Chelsea do not have a good record
Trouble.
at home against Liverpool.
Oh,
We have, I think, just won twice out of the last 9 attempts, I think, at home. So it's not too good. Like, and they have won quite a few more times. He definitely, Lukaku will get shredded. But if Lukaku doesn't start, who does? Werner is out. Kai is just coming back into fitness. We don't have a recognized striker. We don't have recognized fullbacks anymore. Can we pull off a victory like Leicester did? I don't know. I don't know. Especially with this interview coming out just 2 days before the game, I think it could demoralize the entire dressing room, and and a defeat will sort of turn the fans again. No, not turn the fans. Sorry, turn the players maybe even against Tuchel. And I would love to see how Rudiger and all act up to this, because Tuchel sort of resurrected his career in a way. So, and if he's that much of a presence in the dressing room that everyone claims him to be, I would love to see how he handles the situation. But yeah, it's inexcusable what Lukaku has said. I mean, he could have waited at least until the end of the season. Wait till you see if you want to win anything. Yeah, you want to go back to Inter, dude, feel free to. Chelsea won before you were there, and we will continue to win even after you leave. So we could let Hazard go, we could let Lampard go, we could let Terry go.
true. With Chelsea Football Club, there's no player that's bigger than the club. We can, like you said, if we
That's
can recover
across the
losing
entire
Hazard,
footballing
we can
spectrum,
recover
Sam.
losing
Like, I
anyone.
mean, I don't get why players end up thinking that they are bigger than the club. It's across all clubs, across any team sport. Like, no player is bigger than the team. No player is bigger than the franchise or the club. Like, franchise because American sports, or the club because you have soccer, football in England. So, but it's disappointing. Honestly, not enjoying reading this 2 days before playing Liverpool. 2-3 days, how many ever days there are remaining against Liverpool. So nope, not fun. I hope he comes out and says something that, like, okay, listen.
I'm hoping he's saying it's a lie. I really hope he's going to come out and say, I don't know where this is coming from. Typical media lying. I really hope it's one of them
wait
cases.
and watch. He knows what the truth is, and I hope he is aware what is happening. I mean, and I feel bad for Tuchel, man. I mean, imagine getting sacked when you're second or third in the league after winning a Champions League and a Super League, and you're on the way for going for the Club World Cup, which hopefully Chelsea win. I mean, that's just not fair. I mean,
it really isn't.
I'm going off tangent over here, but I hope Abramovich realizes that hiring and firing managers isn't going to work anymore. If he has seen the examples of Man City and Liverpool, he has seen that it takes 3-4 years to build what is a dynasty, to build something like a dynastical club. Chelsea has had ups and downs, but come on, as fans, shouldn't we start to expect that, okay, we don't want to have a season where we are 8th and then 1st again and then 8th again. Like, come on. You want to always be in that mix. At the same time, you don't want to drop like Arsenal has over like the last 10 years. So, man, now
Have you seen this? There's right now the fan base is divided. Some saying it's normal. Some saying they're actually happy Lukaku is expressing his feelings, then keeping it quiet and becoming toxic. Some fans
it's
are
just the
saying
timing. I
Drogba
have no
said the same
issues with him
thing.
expressing it, Sam. It's just the timing. When all the chips are
Yeah,
down,
when we're
when
not
the
informed.
entire team is absolutely injured, dead, your teammates are falling left, right, and center because of COVID and injuries and whatnot. The team's form is stuttering. The manager is under a little bit of pressure. You say that you love the club so much and like you wanna be a legend like Drogba was, and this is how you come out and show your leadership. Yeah, I see that thing by Drogba, but again, time was different. It was a different time, different era. Everything was different back in the day. You can't compare that with what it is now. It's a long time ago. I don't think it is fair to compare what happened 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago with Drogba with what's happening with Lukaku now. Social media maybe was not that prevalent. People were not picking up on cues as much.
I think that is what
That
he
they do
did.
now.
He did with Everton as well.
Pardon me?
That is what he did in Everton and Inter as well.
Yeah, but he did apologize to Inter. But he never said he wanted to leave Inter until they had problems with the
finances. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Hey, he needs to. I mean, I don't know. At least he needs to come out to the fans and tell us, right?
He should be the first person to be interviewed after what's our next game? Liverpool?
Liverpool, yeah.
He should be the first person to talk and clear his name and even score. Dan King, how you doing, bro? Thanks for coming on.
Oh, what's going on, bro?
How you doing, bro? What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah,
Because there's actually, according to Twitter, some people are praising Lukaku for speaking out. Some saying players have the right to not be happy. What's your thoughts? Everyone's got a different opinion right now.
I think it's good that he voiced his opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the timing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And
A lot of people are saying that.
I think it kind of explains why he's not been playing so well previously, and I think it might be the mental aspect of his game.
Mm-hmm.
He seems a bit guilty for how he left Inter, and in some ways, it seems that he's kind of offloading that guilt now so that he can continue on for the rest of the season in the way that he has been in the past 2 games. I don't think that it's a coincidence. In my honest opinion. So I do think that it's bad timing. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure if Lukaku would be there at the end of the season.
Because of his comments or because he's not happy?
I think this is, for me, like, just betrayal, you know? And I think in football, it's very tribal. So when you say these kind of things now, you know, if we can remember, Diego Costa was looking for a move to China in the middle of the season when Chelsea were top of the league. We're fighting for a title, and you're saying this now. It's very likely that Tuchel will say, you know what, just so that we don't disturb the harmony of the dressing room, mentally, my job was also on the line as well. I don't think it's good that you're here for the end of the season, for the next season anyway, and they'll probably look to get another striker. The problem is there isn't many strikers on the market at the moment. And yeah, I don't see Lukaku being there at the end of this season.
So okay, so say that's the case. We've all agreed Lukaku needs to leave this club. Then what? Do we go for Haaland? Do we get Tammy back?
So personally, I feel like everyone wants Lukaku out, but we're not being realistic, right? This is a player that we signed for £95 million less than 6 months ago. Nobody is paying us £90 million for Lukaku this summer. No one is even paying us £60 million for Lukaku, right? All the top clubs already have a good striker, and if they're going to spend £100 million, then they might as well spend it on Harry Kane or Haaland, you know. And then there are much cheaper options like Vlahovic in Fiorentina. So, like, if we're getting rid of Lukaku, how exactly are we getting rid of him? Who are we selling him to? He says he wants to go back to Inter. Inter does not have £100 million to spend on Lukaku, right? Barca is not spending 100 million on Lukaku. Real Madrid is not spending 100 million on Lukaku. PSG is not doing that. So where exactly is the money coming from? Or are we going to sell him for cheap? Definitely, we're not going to do that. Right. They signed this guy for 100 million, gave him a 5-year contract because he's supposed to be at the club for a long time. So I think, I mean, we'll be deceiving ourselves if we expect Lukaku to leave the club at the end of the year, except the club is willing to take a significant financial hit, say a 40 to 50 million pound loss on Lukaku. And unfortunately, that's not how the club is run. Right.
I
Financial
like.
stability is a very, very
Sorry, Carl.
financial stability is a very yeah, that's fine. Financial stability is a very big part of how Chelsea's run. So is Chelsea going to take a 40, 50 million pound loss just because a player gave an inflammatory interview? I don't think so. There are ways that the club could try to punish him, maybe fine him or drop him for a couple of games or, drop his hierarchy in the squad or something. But in terms of actually getting him to leave the club, there's a very, 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 very minute chance of us actually succeeding with that. I mean, we've struggled to offload players like Drinkwater, players like Barkley, and these are players that are going for peanuts. These are players that are going
The
for
list is
22
getting bigger
million
and bigger.
pounds, 18 million pounds. Yeah, and we're struggling to offload those players. Bakayoko has been out of our squad for 3, 4 years now, and we still cannot get a club to get him off our hands. And then now we have 100 million pound striker that has a 4-year contract or that has 4 years left on his contract. And then we think that in 6 months we are going to suddenly be able to get him off our hands. It's unrealistic.
Well, say you're someone who wants to sign Lukaku. Do you really want to spend big money on someone who's gonna talk like this to the media? Because basically, if you're not into Milan, it just looks like Lukaku doesn't care about you if you're not into Milan. So it's a bit. So I just don't see anyone wanting to buy him after this comment. I personally wouldn't buy him after reading that.
Man, so shouldn't it come on him to realize that, okay, listen, I don't think anybody is going to get me now. And there's no club in Europe that has that much money to fund me. Either I go out on loan or I put my head down, say that, okay, you know what, Chelsea fans, sorry about that. Let me bang a few more goals, end the season on a high. Let's try to win a trophy. And then we'll see the situation when the season ends. I mean, you say you're a professional, so show your professionalism.
Axe it. Well, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the comments are saying it's an old interview before the Aston Villa game. Sid, I'll let you talk because you haven't had a chance yet. Sid, is that an excuse? Is that a good excuse?
I think it was because he was getting minutes by coming on from the bench, and he was like, I want to play, but Tuchel was precautious because he just got his ankle injury, which for a big guy like him is serious because he can again twist his ankle by little jump from set piece or something like that. So he was precautious, but Lukaku felt like he wanted to play, and our results were not going our way. We drew with Man United, I guess, Everton, and the results were not going our way. So he was like giving an interview to Sky Sports, and Sky Sports always does that to manipulate. They uploaded this just now when we are on bad run of form, and they know that the year is ending, and Liverpool and City are the next two teams we are facing in Premier League. In between, we have Tottenham game also. So it's just about the timing that Sky Sports posted it. And I think Lukaku can bounce back by scoring in 1 or 2 games and getting the fans back on him.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think Sky Sports
Yeah,
are
maybe
being malicious.
they might have. Yeah,
I don't know if I could speak yet, but
To me, this sounds really like a bombshell in terms of Christiansen not wanting to sign a contract, Rudiger not wanting to sign a contract, Aspi not wanting to sign a contract, and all of that put together with Lukaku, who none of us expected. This is just like the worst, you know. It's really hard to believe. It's like crazy, but I really think he shouldn't be allowed to play for the club if he talks like this. It's very disrespectful, especially if someone who so-called says he loves the club. So yeah, I'm really shocked by this, to be honest.
I don't think it would be nice to drop him because the games are coming, which are very big. We have semi-final against our London rivals. I think it would be nice to let him know that he can't talk in the media like that, giving him some lesson, but not dropping him, I guess. Dropping him would be bad decision and it can turn the dressing room towards Tuchel, I guess.
Joe, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, hi. Nice to meet you guys.
All right, okay, Lukaku is the most important striker at the club right now, and we're on a bad streak. We need to play Liverpool, arguably the second best, arguably the best team in England. Also, you can say Chelsea struggled. We didn't beat them last time, so we need our A team against them. After these comments, do you play Lukaku? Do you start him against Liverpool?
To be really honest, I don't see any way in which I would personally play him because what does that show to the squad? I mean, what value does that uphold where you talk about your manager? Be it 3 weeks ago, be it 3 months ago. For me, that's an absolute no-go, and I'm shocked. I cannot believe it because what about Werner? He's been getting stick from the fans. He's been hurt. He's been insulted, but he gives 200%. I'm not saying Lukaku doesn't, but I don't think anyone is above the club. So I think that's honestly what I think. I don't think he should play.
Cool. Therese,
I,
I'm really, out of everyone, I'm really interested in your thoughts because let me just tell you all, I don't do the streams much. That's more Lewis's and the others' job. I run the channel behind the scenes. But this time last year, we were losing so many games. We were screaming Lampard in, Lampard out. So I had to jump on the streams to have my say. I was really passionate. And this is how I met Therese. And Therese was saying, I want Tuchel. And I was telling Therese, Tuchel's won nothing. I don't want him. And obviously, Therese was right, proved me wrong. So I had to say, so congrats, bro, you're completely right. But now it's slowly turning into the Lampard situation again with Tuchel. I don't think it will be the same. But Therese, now that we're seeing a similar out of form Chelsea with Tuchel, is it the players' fault or is it Tuchel? Because for me, I blame the players, not Lampard.
I blame the players as well. For me, I think it's a very difficult time to really judge Chelsea. First of all, I have to admit it. When we started, I started seeing thought the squad was strong enough. I thought we had the squad that I thought we had everything, and it just turned out that the squad is not as good as we probably thought it was at the beginning of the season. But for me, I think that the biggest issue right now at Chelsea is the attack. The midfield, for me, I realized that when we play without Kante, it's so easily just someone just steamrolls the midfield, just gets it way too easily. And for me, I do think we need to get a backup midfielder because it would have been supposed to be Saul, and we all knew how he turned out. So, for me, I don't blame Tuchel for doing anything much.
I agree.
Not at all. It's more on the players, but what I really came on today is this whole Lukaku situation has me fuming. I'm really the way how Lukaku approached this. Now, for me, I don't care if it's 3 weeks ago. I don't care anything like that. For me, Lukaku is a player that I didn't really want Lukaku, by the way. I let everyone know because I knew that our system didn't suit him. Lukaku likes to play with his back to goal. Lukaku likes to play one way. This back to goal. I've been watching a lot of interviews of him, with Jamie Carragher many years ago when he was at Everton. I watched another thing with Josh Hart, an NBA player, a podcast he did 2 years ago. He was like, okay, I like to play my back to goal. He only likes this back to goal thing. And for me, if you're coming to a big team like Chelsea, you need to adapt your game because you have to be more professional. And what's showing to me it's just showing he doesn't have much professionalism because in my opinion as a professional, you should be able to adapt your game. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo underneath Ragni. Yeah, yes, United has been great. Yes, Ronaldo sometimes doesn't look great, but when he was underneath Ole, he wasn't pressing as much. And against Crystal Palace, against Norwich, and these teams, he was pressing more underneath the new manager because he wants to press from the front. So for me, we need to be more. We need to be ruthless with this situation. For me personally, I want to play him for the rest of the season, and but we will have to go in January and probably, I don't know, bring a Broja back or something. I don't know, but for me, I don't think that's good enough from a Chelsea because like, look at it this way. Because of the last point, fair enough, it's a bit long, but Didier Drogba played on some duds at Chelsea, like Avram Grant, Kalari, Andre Villas-Boas. We never got any complaints from. We never saw Drogba come out and publicly like criticize Chelsea. He never done that. We may have seen him publicly criticize referees and stuff in the past, but he's never done that to Chelsea one away because he was an ultimate professional. And for me, Lukaku is not on that level because if you look at Lukaku's trophy record and his pedigree and stuff, he doesn't have anything really great. Just a Scudetto. I can understand Ronaldo when he came out and said something like that. Not even Ronaldo has come out and been professional with respect to the state of United because he's a professional. But that's all I have to say.
Mohammed, thanks for coming on, bro. It's been a while. Oh, your mic's not working, bro. Let me go back to Seb.
Yes.
Thanks, Mohammed.
Sorry about that.
Seb, I'll get back to you in a sec. Mohammed, well, what's your views? Because I remember talking to you during the Lampard situation, and I just feel like I'm back to moaning with you again a year later.
Well, it's been what 24 hours since we've.
Excuse me, sorry about that. I'm just hearing this mic thing. I don't know if it's someone like moving around it or something like that. Sorry about
that. Not sure.
Yeah,
who
I can
is,
hear
but,
it as well, but I can't figure out who it is.
I think 24. It's not even been 24 hours since our draw against Brighton. Christensen wants to leave. Aspie supposedly is leaving. Rudiger doesn't want to sign a new contract, and now hit with this with Lukaku stuff. It clearly makes no sense to me that a player of a caliber of Lukaku would come out and say something like this on such a big stage. Clearly, whatever he said on that interview should have been said to Tuchel in a private conversation in his office. If he was unhappy with someone, I know. Yes, there's a lot of people out there saying it was weeks. It was 3 or 4 weeks ago or whatever when he was injured, and he was probably talking about his injury situation. As a player, you just can't talk about those things publicly. Everyone has their frustrating times. Everyone has their times which they struggle, but it doesn't mean you go out there and say stuff like this. Yes, at the same time, I respect him for. I mean, I like the way that he respects his former clubs, and he says that he loves the clubs. But as a Chelsea player, you can't say that. You've just signed a 5-year contract. You can't say you want to go back there. You're 29 already. 5 years from now, 34, you're expecting to go back and you want to play in Italy again. It shouldn't have been said. And I know there's some translation or stuff, and the whole interview coming out tomorrow or whatever. But it's not a situation what Chelsea wants right now, and it's something Tuchel will have to sort out really quickly. Heading into a very important game on Sunday, which I mean is another very big game, and I think he shouldn't have said what he said. Basically, in what I think, in my opinion, at least.
So Seb, how do we forgive him? For me, if he scores, I don't know. If he scores against Liverpool and then puts his hands up, like making it.
Don't think he's going to score. He scores against the big teams. I'm not counting on him to score against Liverpool. I'm sorry. I can't. To be fair, I can't take that.
I think
that's not happening. Come on. Sorry.
I think he can. If
one sec. Let's talk. One sec. Go on, sir.
Lukaku is going to get booed. We all know that he's going to get booed literally the entire game, right? And I mean, I struggle to see how he's going to have a good game if he's getting booed for 90 minutes, right? Which is why this situation is so dangerous, because it's like an endless cycle. You know, you're getting booed from kickoff, and then half the time you're trying to focus on playing the game. The other half of the time you're trying to block out the noise, right?
Mhm.
And then invariably you have a bad performance, which leads to more boosts, and then you carry that over into the next game, and then the cycle basically hits itself continuously until you get to a point where you're tired of the club and the club is tired of you. I mean, except Lukaku gets really lucky against Liverpool and he scores the header, or, has a good game. I struggle to see him forgiving anytime soon. Except, of course, maybe he puts out a statement, or the club puts out a statement on his behalf,
That's what I'm
or
expecting.
Tuchel puts out a statement on his behalf, or the team, Chelsea and Solidarity and all that kind of stuff. I get actually come online and tweets about how the media is, being unfair to Lukaku and how the entire team is for him and he loves the club, the club loves it and all that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff can play a role in him getting forgiven. But getting forgiven on a performance basis, man, I hope I'm not there. I expect Liverpool to have a horrible run of games because the treatment is going to be confirmed for.
Sorry, Seb, your internet was cutting out. I'll just give it a second to breathe. Karan, is anything you'd like to add to that? Because Seb was
Not
saying
much, man.
about
I mean,
a
it's
club
just
statement. I kind of want that, and I think this will happen because Chelsea, they care about their appearance. It's not always a good thing, but Chelsea, they really care about. There's loads of things. I don't want to say it on camera, but there's so many things. Chelsea, they tweet stuff. They say, "Oh, we're the first club to accept same sex stuff." Like Chelsea's so very careful with branding, and they care about their image. So I have a feeling they're going to say something about this. Like Lukaku's definitely in trouble right now.
There are two things to that. One, the club does the social aspect of the things in order to the PR stuff and all of that.
Okay.
And then there's of course the stuff which is the players and the football related stuff. Now yes, I hope there is some sort of a disciplinary action, or even if not, even if there's a disciplinary action that is not made public, and I hope it is not. I just hope Tuchel tomorrow calls Lukaku right now and is like, okay dude, can we have a conversation right now, okay, what is going on, what is this is. And I'm pretty sure Lukaku is mature enough as a player to know that, okay, these are things I should discuss with the manager and not just openly blurt it out in front of the media. Now, if there is something going on behind, where Sky is like, okay, you know what, we hate Chelsea anyways. Chelsea, we'll just put Chelsea, down under even more. They are in a bad form. They're playing Liverpool. We don't want Chelsea to win. There you go. Here's a bombshell interview that was done 3-4 months ago. We are dropping it right now. Could be something like that, but I hope there's some sort of internal discussion that happens where at least Lukaku addresses all of his teammates and is like, guys, this is not what it seems. These are my comments. This is what I said. This is when I said. The media is just playing a game against us to pit us against each other. This is just a sort of like a conspiracy by them to have the team fall apart or whatever. And I hope uses this negativity in some ways to galvanize the team and is like, okay, you know what, guys, we're gonna go all the way through. The contract situation with our defenders, obviously it worries me. I don't know what is the holdup. I don't know why they are not signing. They want to go, man. I mean, players come and go at the end of the day.
True.
Chelsea has a great academy. Players will come, players will go.
It's true. Delano, thanks for coming on. I'll just give you a chance to speak. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to reflect on the past 10 years with Chelsea and how we can't sustain a striker. It's pretty amazing, in my opinion. It's embarrassing. I mean, Chelsea's too big of a club to not to have these sort of problems, It seems every single year for the past 10 years that we've been having a problem with striker, man. I don't know what's going on with this club. I don't get it. I understand why Lukaku came over to the team. He was in desperation mode. I mean, Inter was in money problems and they can't sustain their whole team. Even though the manager left, Conte went to Tottenham for Pete's sakes. But nevertheless, yeah, Chelsea. It's been frustrating being a Chelsea fan for the past 10 years for me right now. As for his
Coaster of a
words,
ride.
what was that?
Roller coaster of a ride, ups and downs, and
Roller coaster of a ride. Oh yeah, man. I mean, as for Lukaku's words, in one sense, I agree with him because I could see why it's kind of frustrating for him to play in a certain way with Chelsea that he's not accustomed to. But then again, you are a professional; you should be able to adapt. That being said, Chelsea picked up Lukaku. You knew what you were getting yourself into.
It's true.
Personally, I think they should have never got rid of Tammy Abraham. I know some
I
people
agree.
crucified me for saying this, but he's only 22, 23 now? He's still young. He's still young.
If Mourinho wants you, you're a good player. End of.
Exactly. Exactly, man. The guy was young. So
There's nothing to say
I guess
Tammy
it's
won't
a
come
little
back.
bit of payback.
Sorry to
What was
interject.
that, sir?
Sorry to interject. There's nothing saying Tammy won't come back. I think Chelsea has a buyback clause on
But
him.
why would he come back?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Why would he come? He got so disrespected.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
He got so disrespected by Chelsea fans.
He's
and
gone.
the
Same reason
club.
why Lukaku
He's
came
gone.
back. He can say he loves the club and he can
Yeah,
come
but
back.
Lukaku never played for Chelsea. He played
But
what,
then
2
again,
games.
see,
It's
the
not
thing
the
is, Tammy
same.
Abraham is scoring in Italy.
he
Lukaku is scoring
he
in
has
Italy,
a
but he
Champions
struggles
League to his name.
I mean, personally, for me, I think that this isn't more of a why did Lukaku say this thing. I think this is more of why is Chelsea so toxic as a team overall. You know, honestly, everyone's keep on dodging the bullets of saying, "Oh, this player doesn't want to play with us," or we're getting rid of managers every year. Why is Chelsea such a toxic club? Why?
I swear, I don't do the streams more often because I let the presenters usually do it, Lewis, Mackie. But Alex, I swear, every time I talk to you, it's a depressing topic.
Yeah,
I know.
I sort of
bro.
have a reason why I sort of maybe having an answer to your question as to why it is toxic or why it could be toxic. Chelsea changed. How many managers have we ever had? You said that the last 10 years have been difficult as a Chelsea fan. How many managers has Chelsea had in the last 10 years? There is no continuity when it comes to having managers.
Nothing.
And a certain philosophy being set and getting carried on for 3, 4, 5 years.
Exactly.
And I was telling this to Sammy before as well. Like maybe Abramovich needs to wake up and realize that, okay, I can't be hiring and firing managers because it's creating problems in the team where players feel that they are more stronger than the manager. And they can just outright say that, okay, you know what, we hate him.
He's not going to change. He's not going to change because think about it. It's a short-term strategy that's worked.
But then
he's like,
it's
wait,
not going to work every
sacked.
time.
No, wait.
But we said that when
but then more
we
teams,
said that before.
more teams are adopting the approach of firing the manager as soon as it starts to underperform and then signing up.
Not
a new
Liverpool
manager.
and Man City.
No, that's not true at all. Look at Arsenal stuck with Arteta. United stuck with Oli.
Arsenal look really good right now.
United stuck with Oli.
Yeah, they're really good right now. But then
it's Arsenal, isn't it?
We will assess.
I'm not even considering Man United right now
are.
because their owners, I don't care much about the club. I'm talking specifically about Man City and Liverpool because they have been the title winners in the last 5 years. And the last time Chelsea won a title was what, in 2015-16, I think?
Exactly.
Yes.
16,
and
17.
Then after that, you
16,
have City
17.
and Liverpool who have constantly kept the same manager and sort of stuck with one guy. You take them for 5-6 years and you see what they have
when
done.
you think of the top 10 clubs in the world,
the only thing that's been consistent with Chelsea has been their academy, and that's about it.
Exactly.
It's time to admit the truth.
Yeah, but then if you look at it critically, the top 10 teams in the world, how many of them have had a coach that's been there for more than, say, 3-4 years? Real Madrid has had something like 3 coaches in 5 years.
They had Zidane, man. They had
Barcelona
Zidane for like
has
3-4 years, and he won every single year.
No, they had him. They had him. Yeah, they had Zidane for 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the past 5 years, they've had 3 different managers. They've had Zidane, they've had Lopetegui, they brought back Zidane, and then now they have Ancelotti. Barcelona has had something like 4 managers in the past 5 years.
I don't even know.
If you want to bring up Real Madrid, personally, Real Madrid they changed the whole philosophy with the team. They've gone for younger players in the past 3 years, so that's why I give them leeway to look for another manager.
My point is all the top clubs are switching managers frequently no top club is going to keep a manager that is underperforming. You talk about how Zidane was in Real Madrid for 3 years, but you conveniently left out the fact that Zidane was winning the Champions League every single season.
He did say that.
Right.
He did say that.
I did say that. I did say that. But
think
at the same time,
exactly,
we're taking a
exactly.
Spanish club. We are talking about La Liga. La Liga, there are only
Okay.
3 teams that actually are good enough. In the
They are
Premier
only-
League, the top 2
in the
teams
Premier
that have
League.
won in the last 5 years have had managers for a very long time, and they have been very
Yeah, but then
successful.
how many trophies has Liverpool won in that time versus the amount of trophies
No, but
that Chelsea
Sammy was
won
saying about the
in that time?
negativity and having like that bad thing in the club. I
Yeah,
was
I
just
think
countering to
you're
that.
cherry
Because Chelsea
picking.
has had
That's
so
what I
many
think.
managers, the players feel
I feel
empowered
like
that they can just go against the manager
no.
and
Yeah,
request for a
so
change.
that's a genuine problem, right? Chelsea has a player power problem. We've always had a player power problem.
But
And
that
you have a
happens
point.
because the
You have
managers
a
change
point.
so often and players are sort of behind. Players
In the
sack
past
Lampard,
10
they may
years
even be
since-
sacking Tuchel at the end of it as well.
Yeah, that's
The
valid.
last
That's
10
actually
years
valid.
we've had that problem.
That's valid. That's valid.
My thing,
We've had that problem
you
for a
brought
while.
up Liverpool, but Liverpool, when Klopp went to Liverpool, he was struggling. But guess what? The team stuck with him because they
Yeah,
wanted
but
to
then-
adapt to a philosophy.
and then
we
they've
have
won-
not
they've
done that
won-
in the past.
Liverpool-
Actually, we haven't
Liverpool
done
has
that
won-
since Mourinho first came here.
Liverpool
And no
has
one wants
won.
to admit it. Everybody needs
Yep.
to admit that Chelsea has a toxic
No.
problem. We
No,
know
of course they do.
I don't
Of course
say.
they
I
do.
won't
You're
say
right.
that. Well,
You're
okay,
right,
so
but
so
the
let me
guy-
ask you.
The
No,
guy's
no,
talking
no,
about-
no,
I'm done
no, no,
Wait,
no,
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 it's
no,
mate, it's
for this
facts.
club.
It's facts. It has a bad culture, but the culture stems from the owner wanting a short-term strategic plan that works, i.e.,
Thank you.
2-3 years we've got to win trophies because trophies
Exactly.
brings in economic return. Everyone knows
Exactly.
that. It's
But
how
it's
Chelsea
Exactly.
shambles.
You talk about
Agreed.
Liverpool and
Just
how
because
how
it happened
Klopp
for so many years
struggled.
doesn't mean it'll happen again, which is why I'm
Okay,
saying
so
that
so
the owner
so let
maybe
me
needs to
ask you guys.
rethink and
Let me ask you
re-strategize
guys
as to how
a
he
very
runs the club.
honest question. I want to ask you guys
Yeah.
a very honest
That's all.
question. If you had to stick with one manager for 3 years and then it meant that you do not win any trophy for 3 years, the only thing you get to celebrate every season is we made top 4, but then you're guaranteed the league on your 4th season, would you stick with such a manager personally as a Chelsea
Yeah.
fan, or would you call for his head?
Man, this is
We
a very
haven't won the league
hypothetical
in
question.
how many
and I
years?
don't even
I'm
think
joining the
this is
club.
Flota.
Why not? We haven't
I'm
won the
not
league in how many years?
We've not won the league, but we've won the Champions League.
Bro, come
we've won.
on.
We've
Yeah,
won.
we won
the
the
FA
We've won
Cup.
Europa
League.
League.
I still want the
Klopp
Premier
did
League
not win
because the Premier
any
League's more
trophy
difficult to
for
win than
3
the Champions
years.
League at this point.
Klopp didn't win any trophy for 3 years. Chelsea
Yeah.
cannot lose 3 games without the fans rioting. Fam,
Which is exactly
we've
why
not
I'm
we've not
saying
we've
that
not lost
there
we've not
needs to
lost
be a
3 games,
change in
and
that.
the fans are already taking up arms. We're already burning things down and calling for everybody's head.
And do
We've
you
not
Why?
lost
I
3
don't get
games.
it.
We are
And
talking
you're
like we're
telling
getting
me-
relegated, aren't we?
Do
You
you,
No,
get
no,
me?
but I don't
And
turn
you want to
into-
go 3 seasons trophyless.
do
You
do
really
you
believe
know
that
why?
we will survive
do you know
3
why
trophyless
that's the,
seasons?
Do you know why that's the standard that Chelsea fans have? It's because we're used
we're
to
used to winning.
inconsistency for the
Used to
past
winning.
10 years. This
So-
has
so-
to get.
Yeah. So
I
why
agree
do we
with my man over
sacrifice
here,
a
man.
winning? Why do we sacrifice a
needs
winning
to be, man.
mentality
Abramovich needs
for
to
a
get his,
continuity
he has to get
mentality?
his act
Nah.
together.
I don't agree. I think
I
winning,
guess
You
only
don't agree?
Lampard.
winning is more important
We
than
don't need
continuity.
Lampard. He needs
But-
some more experience. That's what he needs.
We need,
So,
we need,
Alex,
we need a
let me
winning
ask Alex a
mentality.
question, sir.
All right.
Because I've heard all of your opinions. So, Alex, we've seen Villa Boas get sacked,
Mm-hmm.
which made us win the Champions League.
That's true.
As much as it pains me, 'cause I
Yeah.
loved Lampard. We sacked Lampard.
Mhm.
It made us win the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think if things carry on like now, it would be the best? How do I say this? Would it be in the club's best interest to repeat this with Tuchel?
Just
Yeah.
because it happened
Yeah.
once doesn't mean it'll happen again, Sammy.
No.
And again.
Listen,
Bro,
It's
we're gonna run
happened
out of
before,
managers.
that
We're
narrative.
gonna run out of managers,
Just
bro.
because it
No,
happened
we're
once
not.
doesn't
We
mean
might as well
It
get
happens
Sir
twice.
Ferguson out of retirement.
We
There's too much of a big list.
Chelsea's also. Can I just say on this Lukaku thing? Let's get this straight. Why he's come out and said this, right? Lukaku is not the same player he used to be. The guy's been. I haven't watched him in the Brighton game. The guy, of course, scores some goals like strikers are meant to. Is he a top class striker? I never rated him, right? I never thought we should have paid as much money as we did. The
I was
guy's
Team
coming
Haaland.
out. Wait,
Team
the
Haaland.
guy's coming out now and talking
Oh my
about
days, it's
I
Wayne.
love Italy, I love this, I love that, because he's trying to deflect from his performances. Period. Right?
It's nothing to do with I love Italy, I love Chelsea. To do with the fact that he's trying to deflect and show people, oh, you know what, I'm not banging in 15 goals because I wasn't feeling great. I don't like the system, blah, blah, blah. No, you're looking for excuses, mate, right? So now we've got this big debate about culture. No. It's specifically about Lukaku. And Lukaku is deflecting. Let's be honest about it, yeah?
Oof.
Why,
I mean, if he's not
why
liking,
would he come out? Why would he come out just randomly mid-season and start talking about it? When he's got
I
like
want
a couple goals?
to know
plan,
if he had
don't-
a
Only
chat
he
with
knows that,
Tuchel.
why he come
I
out
want to
with
know
this
if he had a
smart
chat
mouth.
with Tuchel before joining, because he
Marmot,
must have
yeah.
known the system Tuchel plays.
Exactly, he must have
I mean,
known. He's not an idiot.
Was that not a conversation like before signing the contract? Like,
Of
oh, we're going to play
course,
it.
of course.
Come on, like it's. And
At
why
first it
why
was
did it take him almost half the season to realize? Oh wait, I'm playing the wrong system.
Exactly. He's deflecting.
Like,
He's
Yeah,
deflecting.
I think
I think he's taken out of
claiming that he was
proportion.
deceived. He's claiming he was
It's taken.
deceived.
This is all taken out of proportion. Like, I think he's talking about how much he loved Inter, and now it's been reversed about how bad Chelsea is in the system. I think he's only saying how much Inter's actually meant to him because Inter's brought his game back to what he is now.
Mm.
And I think he's just saying how much he would like to return to Inter. Similar to what Hazard said. Remember rightly when Hazard left, he said, "One day I want to return to Chelsea because that's my club. That's what's made me."
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I think that's what it's about. I don't think we need to panic. I've been watching, like, Sammy knows something and everyone else don't know. I've been going through a hell of a lot at the moment. And I haven't been on streams, I haven't been doing anything, but I have been watching Chelsea. And I'm actually happy where we are. I'm happy how we're playing, happy about the situation. I'm not bothered about if we're winning or losing because we're playing better than we was last season. Because games where we thought, like against West Ham, for example, we lost 3-2. Remember right last year with either Lampard or it's been other managers, we've not responded. But with Tuchel, he's come in, responded, had such rotten luck up on the top with Lukaku, Werner, Havertz all going out. We've still done a great job. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're going to have problems with our wing backs. I think that's the problem. We've got Chilwell and James. I think that's going to affect us quite heavily. But I'm not panicking because I think, well, it's Tuchel, it's Chelsea. We're going to bring something out of the bag. I've got a funny feeling Luka Dina's going to come in. And I've got a funny feeling that Sergio Dest as well from Barcelona.
I just want to point out Wayne is 9 out of 10 right with his with his news. I don't know how. I don't know who he's friends with, but he's got most of the transfer news right, which was weird. He said Lukaku was coming months before.
I remember you
months
did,
before.
No. What type of
And he was the only one who said Haaland ain't coming, where all the other YouTubers, Worldwide Chelsea, was saying Haaland is coming. Wayne was like, no, it's Lukaku.
But Wayne, when you talk about, I get what you're saying, bro. But all I say is against Brighton, we were fucking awful. Seriously, when we don't have the problem I have with Tuchel is the plan A obviously is about wing backs and he plays a certain system. When that doesn't work, he does not have a fucking plan B. We if that was against a better team, we would have got battered. Brighton had about fucking 15 chances. If they were better,
They should be angry with a point, in my opinion. Brighton, they should be taking all 3 points after.
No, yeah, they honestly, if we played a better team, we would have got battered. I was actually horrified watching it.
The first half we was brilliant. I think first half we didn't play great, but we were solid. Mm-hmm. Second half we was poor. But I think the reason why we was poor is because it's too many changes. Shut off. Like Talbot come into the back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, he's done really good, but it did affect the back line. Mm-hmm. And with James coming off, we're looking at a very solid back line getting destroyed by other injuries or COVID and that. That's going to affect it. And with Mendy at the moment, I don't see Mendy as confident as he was before.
Yeah, he's not.
I think he's had, after the West Ham game, I think he's been very shaky in that goalkeeper performance. Not as bad as what Kepa was when he went downwards, but he's not been himself. But I'm not. Yeah, I agree with you. After the Brighton game, we should have won that game. How we played second half was absolutely poor. And you're right, Tuchel has not got a plan B. We've always heard in the summer that he's going to play 4-2-2. He's going to play more different formations, and we haven't seen that. All we've seen is him playing players out of position like Perisic as a right wing back. Why? Don't know. Makes no sense.
James left wing back when he should have played James right wing back and Hudson-Odoi left wing back and put Pulisic to the forward. That would have done me. Because Hudson-Odoi knows what he's doing as a wing back. Yes, he's not his favourite position, but he's got to do that job for us if we haven't got the players on the field. Or play Sal there. So no, Sal's not brilliant, but at least he knows what he's doing. You put a right footer on the left wing with Terry Lamptey. Terry Lamptey was having a chill day. He knew all he had to do was turn him around. He's gone. Done. So I think I'm not panicking. It's just halfway through the season. We're still contending. Maybe it's not as close gap we want it to be, but anything can happen. We've got to remember that anything can happen.
It's done. I've heard other Chelsea fans messaging me today saying, "Yeah, it's still no, it's done. Man City are going to win it."
Oh, I think we've still got a chance. I think we've still got a chance, though.
I wouldn't write this. Why? City are going to City are going to batter Arsenal. We've not got a chance. Don't be delusional. We've not got a chance at all.
City needs.
I still got a chance.
On a side note,
the only little hope Chelsea can have is by beating Liverpool and Man City both in the two upcoming games, which is looking very hard.
It's not.
I don't see that happening.
I'm also not seeing that coming.
Even if it does happen, right after that, we're going to drop points to Burnley again.
Exactly.
Or drop points to Southampton or some ridiculous thing.
I couldn't agree more.
Right. So we're not going to beat City and Liverpool and then win our next 18 games. That's just not happening. Right.
Just imagine not having Chilwell and James and facing City.
I mean, Chilwell is out till the end of the season. James is probably going to be out for a very long time. So we're stuck with Pulisic at wing back and Alonso on the other side.
By the way, we had a half decent bench against Brighton. The problem is about Tuchel and his system and his man management. I don't want to hear him keep talking about the schedule, COVID this. Every team has it, mate. Like
no. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's
no. It's back.
We used our first sub. We used our first sub in the first half for an injury. We used our second sub at halftime also for an injury. Meaning that Tuchel could only make one tactical sub. One.
No, but we still had very good players on the pitch.
Yeah, but we could only make one sub. I mean,
I think the mistake Tuchel did was he could have played Pulisic on left wing back. Pulisic
this is what I mean. It's about it's about where he puts players. That's down to the manager. The manager's formation and tactics.
He could have matched Eric Lamptey there. Not with the defending, but with the speed and moving him outside towards the byline, I guess.
Yeah, but would it have changed?
By playing Pulisic on left, but by playing James, it was a risk because they were playing many games in a row, and he could have rested James, or in fact played him on the right side. Just because of speed of Eric Lamptey, he played James on left side.
If Tuchel had rested James, Kante is an egg right now. We have to keep.
I know, but I'm just wondering why haven't we ever played him in this position, his rightful position?
I mean,
no answers,
Kante has no rightful position.
No, Kante, I'm just wondering.
Kante plays wherever you want him to play for. That guy.
I sort of, by the way, agree with Wayne about. I think Wayne, you were talking about like the formation changes and everything, right? That maybe Tuchel should try playing with a back four or something. I hope to see that as well, considering the number of injuries and all we have.
We'll get wrecked. Back four with Jorginho in your DM.
I know that's
get destroyed.
Exactly.
No, I'm right in the middle of the game. Maybe. For example, against Brighton, right? When at second half and we was losing defenders, right? I wouldn't mind if we went to back four and be more solid in that position. If you let me finish. Because what he could have done, he could have put Kante on, and with Kovacic and with Jorginho in front, with that back four, and then maybe have a like Lukaku up front with Mount. Or Hudson-Odoi and make it more solid, that would have been a good opportunity to use that formation. But he chose not to. He chose to play with the same formation, put players in, and it didn't work for us.
There are three reasons why your suggestion is terrible. The first reason is, have you watched Alonso play left back in a back four?
Oh yeah, that's exactly I was coming.
My nan can play better in left back in the back four than Alonso. Fam. Then you talk about playing Jorginho in front of Kante. in Jorginho's entire life, he has
Put Alonso
never
up front.
played.
I promise you, he's scored.
Alonso left wing.
Alonso for
Alonso
striker.
left wing any day, anytime. Alonso
I'm not joking. I'm not joking, by the way.
left wing.
No, you ain't.
We could
Like,
have
I'm
tried
all
that
for that.
before when we
Alonso
were
has
having
the
all
best
three
fin-
strikers out.
It's
He
better.
has the
Look,
best finish in the club.
Havertz is okay as a striker backup.
Right.
He's not that great. Pulisic is awful as a striker
Don't talk
backup.
about Werner.
Pulisic can't play up front.
Werner.
He needs a big
We don't
wing.
need to talk about Werner. Werner's a good left wing.
About Werner.
I'll be nice, Wayne. I'll be nice,
Werner is
Wayne, today.
also-
I'm in a good
Werner
mood.
is also-
Wayne's a good, not Wayne. Werner's a good left winger, but not striker. We've seen this. Alonso, he's terrible everywhere, but he's got such a good finishing. That's all he does. He'll play terrible the whole game, score a free kick. He deserves another start. That's how he survived for like 4 years at Chelsea. Imagine him up front. That's all he's good at shooting, and that's what strikers need to do.
What makes me laugh is you've been saying
I mean,
this for over a
Bo-
year now.
Burnley-
You haven't changed
Burnley-
your suit, have
Burnley
you?
did it with Cornet. Burnley did it with Cornet, and it worked out for them. So why can't we do it with Alonso? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
converting to an out-and-out striker. And let's just
Alaba,
play.
Alaba for Austria, he's played like everywhere, every position you can think of.
Why not? Put it in FIFA, see how it works out.
Can't be worse than Werner or Pulisic, so why not? And he's not even a good left back, so we're not losing.
Yeah,
anything.
so yeah, like we're definitely not playing back four with Alonso left back and Jorginho playing 8 or 10.
Actually saying that, we don't even have a left back right
recipe. That's a recipe for disaster. And then you want to play Rudiger also in a back four. Rudiger is also he's not covered himself in glory the few times he has had to play in a back four. So like we just have too many players that we are protecting, and that's the reality of why we're playing 3 back. We're protecting Jorginho, we're protecting Thiago, we're protecting Rudiger, we're protecting Alonso, we're protecting Hudson-Odoi, we're protecting the entire squad, we're managing Kante. You know, like, and then you want to switch to the back four and expose us, man. We'll be violated by Brighton. I mean, Lamptey, like Alonso came on and then Brighton took off their right back because they felt there was no need for a right back anymore. Like that's how terrible our left side is. And then we have our attackers, you know, just being wasteful with chances. We're getting golden chances to bury games, and then we are wasting this opportunity.
The chance that Hudson-Odoi missed was
don't
horrific.
talk about that. Oh man.
I
guys,
have a question. I don't know. So where does Kai Havertz actually fit in this squad? I'm struggling to understand. I mean,
behind the striker.
I like Havertz up top though. I think we play better when Havertz.
But he's not clinical, right? He's very rarely clinical. He scores some games, he doesn't turn up. I mean, where does he really fit in?
He's good with his finishing, but creating goals is something else. He's good with his finishing. He got that. I think he's, apart from Lukaku, he's a good finisher in Chelsea squad.
Yeah, and his movement is really good too. I feel like Havertz, Werner, and Mount would be like perfect front three because those three, their movement is sublime and they have decent finishing. So I mean, except Werner has terrible finishing, but Werner's movement kind of makes up for his finishing. Werner, Havertz, Mount.
Oh, all right. So what's Werner doing in your front three then?
I mean, he was in our front three against Man City and he was creating space. Like I'm a big fan.
That's what
of
he's
Werner's
doing.
run.
We're paying mad money.
Yeah.
Create space, runs around like.
That's. I mean, I feel like it's underrated.
I prefer him over Oddo though. Everyone knows I don't really rate Werner, but as a left wing right now, I'll choose him over Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi.
I mean, guys, Werner is actually giving us the highest goal contribution.
Everyone talks about Havertz in the Champions League final, but that
Werner is good in creating goal from that left-hand side.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
he's good creator than Hudson-Odoi, in my opinion. We say that Hudson-Odoi create more chances and like that, but Werner's chance creation is, I think, greater than Hudson-Odoi for me.
Werner has the highest goal output, I think.
He can run in that channel and crosses and low passes that he gave to Ziyech in 2 or 3 occasions last season. He can create from that left wing, and I would prefer him over Hudson-Odoi, and he can create chances for Lukaku also.
I got a question. I got a question, and it sort of adds on to the top of Lukaku.
Mm-hmm.
So you named off the whole front line, right? What top striker or young top striker would want to come to Chelsea and play with the Idiots?
Amanda Brojo.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
No one.
We're not getting Holland. We're not getting Holland.
We're not good. Yeah, anyone thinks we're
Vlahovic.
City is the biggest team in the world right now without a striker.
Yeah.
City. I don't see how Haaland would not want to go to City right now.
Exactly. you got all the missing pieces right there.
Yeah.
But he said he want to go to Spain.
Our supporting cast for our would-be striker is horrible, man. It's horrible. No one's gonna feed you the ball in the front. Except if you bring it back from the goal.
We don't even play to our strikers' strengths. We barely pass the ball to them. When you watch Lukaku play, I think the last Brighton game was the first time I'm seeing him open up, create space. It's so sad to watch our strikers play. Even when Werner was up top, I don't think he's hardly got the ball, very rarely. So we don't play towards our strikers. Maybe we should move into how City really play. We have players who can play that.
No, Werner got the ball a lot and then did nothing with it, or tried to or scored a goal and VAR. Like, the guy's a joke.
Yeah.
Honestly. He's a joke.
I think that the last time I seen Chelsea had a proper supporting cast was when we won.
Wayne's very quiet or something.
I'm letting you talk on listening. So I've got my opinions, but I know if I say my opinions.
No,
Wayne fancies Werner secretly.
Because you got the inside scoop with every fucking player. Please talk.
No, because you're talking about a striker that comes to Chelsea and young striker. At the moment, the youngest striker that we probably will get is that Florentina striker. I can't say his name, but I know he's very high rated. That's the only one that will come to Chelsea right now. Haaland will not come to Chelsea. He was only go to Real Madrid or he go to Man City. The only two teams he's going to be going to in the summer. I think you got Barcelona and now we're rebuilding, so they are looking like a project what he could go to. But I think it'd be too early for him. Looking at would
you trust Broja or Broja?
No.
Yes.
He isn't ready
in
yet.
the youth, with his first.
If you have seen match versus Southampton versus I guess West Ham, he was performing well.
What's Broja's stats compared to Tammy at that age, or in his first year in the Premier League? Where did Tammy go for? Swansea, isn't it?
Swansea. He's doing better than Tammy. So a lot better than Tammy. I wouldn't. I don't see him as a Chelsea striker. I still see him as a middle team striker. That makes sense. I think he needs more couple of years on his belt, and then I think he can make it. But at the moment, I think it's too soon for him. I think you look at the moment, unfortunately, Chelsea, when it comes to the top, we are very fortunately what we've got. We can't make anything do. The only striker that could come to Chelsea in January is Perik Agbanyang. Can't say his name, from Arsenal. We might get him because Tuchel's very good friends with him still, and they're talking about him coming back together and working together because that's when he's happiest. But I'm looking forward to going. I think we're talking about coming in as a striker wise. I don't think that's the problem. I think what now is our wing backs.
Yeah.
I think we've got Reece James, Ben Chilwell, but what else have we got?
I agree.
And that's what we've got to work at. And I think that
but that's based on obviously keeping the current manager. I agree.
Yeah.
We have to sort our wing backs because that's the system he likes.
I think we'll be all right.
I think
the reason why I brought it up is because
I think our wingers.
I just haven't seen. I haven't seen a supporting cast in the front since the Diego Costa days of feeding the ball, and that's the only reason why I bring it up. I agree 100% with what you said because I don't like Broja at all for us. But I went back to crash, man.
Yeah, the thing is, I agree. When Diego Costa came in, like JJ Drogba and all them, but we've got to remember that's them. That's that day.
Yeah.
That's in the past. We've got to move on. Our strikers can be different. Our formations can be different. Our players can be different. So we've got to just make do what we got. Unfortunately, I know it's frustrating. Trust me, when I watch Chelsea these days compared to when I used to watch Chelsea, because I think Sammy knows this because I know he definitely was there. He was there when we were playing the Champions League in Moscow. When we was there and getting them days and going through there. I remember all that. so vividly. I wish we was back then, but it isn't. But it's what it is. It's what it is. When it comes to front line.
Do you guys think Azpilicueta will leave at the end of the season?
Yeah.
I hope he does.
So far, yeah.
Yes.
Rudiger.
He want to play that World Cup.
The whole defense
and
is
he
gone.
want to be in
Yeah.
that Spain
I've
squad.
been told the
That's
whole
why.
defense is gone. I've been told they're not going to be signed. No one's going to sign a contract.
Who are you talking to, man? I just want to know. I just want to know.
I just want to get something clear because this isn't from a source, a media base. This is from Peter Cech himself. On the train to one of the away games, we for some reason Peter Cech he gets the train, a public train, to every away game by himself. I don't know why.
He likes. I think that's company.
Yeah, he's a proper Chelsea. I love him. We caught him on one of the trains, on the Virgin trains, and we asked him, "Can we get Havertz?" I mean, not Havertz, Hazard. And I swear, we've got a video of this, by the way. Peter Cech said himself, "Why would we sign Hazard? He's not even fit for the bench for Real Madrid."
I agree.
So Chelsea do want him, but they just think it'd be a waste of money. So I don't think they're going to get him. Just
It's not
sorry
prime.
to upset you guys, but
No, but it's not
this,
prime.
and this is from Peter Cech. This is the person. What's it? What
That
is
is
he?
good
Club
news.
ambassador or something? What? He's
What
actually
are
high
your
up, isn't
thoughts on Jules Koundé, man?
That's very good news for me.
He's a great defender.
but this was 2 weeks ago. But after Hudson Odoi's and Pulisic's performance yesterday, I would choose a Finnish Hazard any day after yesterday.
Well, you take Hazard anyway. I know what you're like. But the truth is, no, none of the defenders are going to be signed. I think Silva's going to be going back to Brazil. I think Aspi's going to go to Barcelona, finish his career at Barcelona, back at his team he really wants to. I think Christensen, I can see him leaving. I don't know where he's going to go. I think Lewis is going to start crying in his bed when I say that. But and Rudiger, I think Rudiger's going to Real Madrid. I think
Lewis won't be a Chelsea fan anymore. He'll probably follow him.
Yes. But no, I think we know
This is so scary. Isn't this scary to you? Like all the best players we have are leaving. It's just mental. After you win the
Used to be a
Champions League.
thing. I used to love for Arsenal growing up. Oh, Van Persie's gone. All your top players are gone.
Fabregas.
Hazard. Yeah, like Chelsea, they always come back.
I have
they
a
leave.
sick feeling when Christensen goes, his career is going to be down.
No, I don't think so. He's a good.
No, it depends where he
really
goes.
good defender.
I don't know.
If he goes Barcelona,
that guy, man.
he's going to be on the map.
Absolutely, he is. And I mean, who do we get, man? We're losing Christensen, we're losing Thiago Silva, we're losing Rudiger. I mean, we're losing
Jules
our
Koundé.
Koundé, I like him, but he's not proven. He's not a proven. I love Ampadu. What happened to him? I don't hear him anymore.
No, he plays neatly.
Ampadu fell off.
No, we can't call him back. In his clause, we can't call him back. Unfortunately,
I love Calico, but he needs the game time. So I just think it'd be cruel to get him.
Yeah,
It'd be so cruel.
We have Malang Sarr next year. You know?
Oh God.
no, it's
I'm a better defender than Malang Sarr, please.
I've been told defenders is Delit, Koundé,
Alex, you
and
play football, yeah? I've seen you on your Instagram stories.
Kimbobo.
Kimpembe from
The three
PSG.
defenders they want next year. Shout out them three.
That's decent.
Alex, put your boots on. I've seen you play football on your Instagram.
Thiago Silva is leaving according to you, right? I thought he's signing an extension.
Yeah, it's only 1 year.
He's only 1 year, and he's going to be going back to Brazil end of the season because he wants to finish his career off in Brazil. And his time he started his career.
His wife loves Chelsea more than half of this team.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
It's embarrassing, but it's cute. She obviously supports Chelsea more than Chris and Rudy.
Yeah.
Which is actually really bad.
Rudy, I think Rudy is a problem.
I can't hear
you.
Yeah, his audio's
I missed that, bro. You might need to reconnect with your Wi-Fi.
You know, as a Chelsea fan, I would love to have Rafinha. I really love the guy. I would love to have a winger who can score. It would be really good to have him.
Yeah. Rafinha's not. Yeah, he wouldn't come to Chelsea.
Hey,
No, I bet
he's leaving for Bayern Munich, I guess.
We can't sign a big fullback because they're just going to be like, why would I come where I know when Chilwell and James is back from injury? I'm going to be dropped.
Then I'll get benched. Yeah.
Yeah, so it can only be a prospect.
That's why I said Lukaku be a loan deal for 6 months. And I can see us signing Sergio Dest from Barcelona because he's supposed to be a prospect who can play right or left wing back or right left wing. So he's a very versatile player. But I've got to shoot. I just want to come on and say because obviously have a good evening. Have a happy New Year to everyone, and hope you have a good Christmas.
You too, mate.
Guys, on that note, I'm going to end it there. I just want to do a big announcement because, guys, I loved having you on the panel. Tomorrow, we're going to have another debate. It's going to trigger a lot of people. It's going to be, is Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi overrated? Overrated.
God.
And that's just going to trigger so many people. I love my American Blues, but it's illegal to criticize Pulisic to these American guys on Twitter.
Man,
so it's really going to be interesting tomorrow.
I'm from Jamaica. I'm currently living in New York. Yeah, Pulisic can go suck a fat one. Anyways.
Nah. I think Hudson-Odoi is the most overrated player I've seen in a long ass time. Like I don't get it. 4 goals in 4 years.
For tomorrow, right?
He has seen 3 different managers, and none of one has helped him to improve his finishing. And I'm like, he was compared to Foden and all.
He scores a goal a season.
Before
any goal a season. 1 league goal every season.
We should have triggered the clause of getting 70 million from Bayern Munich, I guess.
Oh, boys, but
honestly, I don't know why we kept him.
What's happened to Sammy?
My internet's a bit dodgy.
Like, I mean,
all right.
It's sad when you look at the guys we're competing against. Spurs have Son and Lucas Moura. Liverpool has Mane, Salah. Manchester City has Grealish, Mahrez, Sterling, and then we have Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic as the edge. None of these guys have double figures in the past 4 years.
Let's have the debate tomorrow.
That's sad.
Yeah, I can't be bothered doing that.
It'd be in the evening, so it'd be 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I'll put in a chat if anyone's available, and then whoever
it's
what time
time,
everyone's available, we'll do it. Would you guys be available at 6?
Yeah.
Which is covered. I'll keep in touch on all of you on Twitter. Give us a little message on Twitter if I don't follow you, and then we can try and arrange something. But tomorrow will be heated, and I look forward to seeing you all. So, guys, thank you for everyone who's watched from the beginning and everyone who's subscribed if they're new. Please give a thumbs up. It's for free. And thank you for the panel for coming on. There's new faces, Joe, Delano, and Sid, and the others, Seb, etc. Thanks for all coming on. We are planning to do streams maybe daily or frequently again, because at the moment we're only posting match days, and we do want to do a bit more content for you guys. But guys, thanks for watching, and up the Chels.
See you guys.